Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be making my predictions for the next International PLE Extravaganza, Clash at the Castle. So we'll start things off with a match for the Intercontinental Championship where Chad Gable will be challenging Sami Zayn. This will also be the short hype video of the PLE that'll be up tomorrow at 8 a.m. this time Eastern, since we have a Superstar Spotlight coming at 9 a.m. So come back tomorrow to see that. So in this match for the Intercontinental Championship, with this being Chad Gable's what seems like 12th time challenging for the title on television, I think regardless of what's going on with him behind the scenes, that Chad Gable needs to win this, and I believe he'll be defeating Sami Zayn here. For me, it seems like Sami Zayn's times Intercontinental Championship is coming up because I don't know who he'd feud with next. With Chad Gable, this seems like an easy progression to where he defeats Sami Zayn, and then Otis and all the Alpha Academy are kind of together afterwards. And Chad Gable says he won the title all on his own, and this leads to Otis finally getting the courage to finally turn on Gable, to where the Creed brothers pop up, and now we have Otis being the next guy to go after Chad Gable for that Intercontinental Championship, where him and Tozawa probably feud with the Creed brothers for the time being until we get to the PLE where these two finally clash. And maybe Sami Zayn tries to step in and help out Otis because we don't know how Tozawa will be faring in this. And I also think regardless of what's going on with Gable, him winning the title could easily be rectified come Monday to where he could lose it very quickly, whether that be Zayn somehow gets it back, which I don't think would be a great idea. I think he would plant the seed to have something happen right after the match to where Otis and him would clash. Even if it's just a quick thing, at least you're getting the match instead of leaving this open-ended if Chad Gable were not to return. So now on to match number 2. And that'll be a triple threat for the women's tag team titles, where we see Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill putting their titles on the line against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn and Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. For me, this match could be the one where the international fans get their thing to cheer when their people win. I would think this is the best possibility, I would say, because we know the luck with the women's tag team titles. Those things kind of get shot around all over the place. But I don't think that'll be happening, and I think the reign of Cargill and Belair will continue, and they will retain their women's tag team titles in this match. With us all having the feeling that Belair and Cargill are on a collision course eventually when these two split off from their tag team, I think for now they'll be retaining the tag team titles and keeping their little team going to add more to the eventual split between these two later down the road. I also think with Nia Jax going for the women's championship at SummerSlam with her winning Queen of the Ring, that kind of takes the spot of the next step after Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair feud. I would assume that the winner of the Belair Cargill feud would move on to go for the women's championship, and with Nia Jax getting that shot in August at SummerSlam, that's kind of taking that spot for now. And I think we could see some dissension come Money in the Bank if they both make it, to where that's where the seeds are planted on screen for their eventual feud. It's like, hey, remember Money in the Bank when these two almost came to blows? That's where the dissension breaks here, and that's where we point at to where when Cargill and Bianca Belair throw down, that's where it began. And I think just in the meantime, we'll see more and more women's tag teams taking a shot at the champions and coming up short until the inevitable, when Belair and Cargill probably cost each other the tag team titles. So now on to our next match, and that'll be for the WWE Championship, and that is an I Quit match where we'll see Cody Rhodes putting his title on the line against AJ Styles. With AJ hoping to make Mark Henry proud with his "I'm not retiring even though I said I was" angle, doing this again. We all know how that ended for Mark with him not winning the championship against John Cena, and I believe AJ will be suffering the same fate as the world's strongest man with him being defeated by Cody Rhodes here. With Cody being the face of WWE and him winning this championship, I see him holding on to this title even longer. And with his little promo he had with old Dewey Johnson, The Rock, with him saying that he had to go away, sounding like The Rock was going to prison or something, telling his kids he's going to be gone for a while. I think we could see something with Cody and the Bloodline guys at SummerSlam, where that'll be where maybe Roman Reigns comes back and he challenges Cody and ultimately loses to Cody again, leading to the inevitable feud between the People's Champ and the American Nightmare. So now on to our co-main event of the evening for the WWE Women's Championship. Bayley putting her title on the line against Piper Niven. Bayley will also be the Superstar Spotlight for the 24th, so come back for that in a couple weeks. And come the 24th, I believe Bayley will be still holding on to the Women's Championship. With the SmackDown Women's division seemingly on a holding pattern until we get to the Nia Jax match at SummerSlam, I think Bayley holding on to the title, having the longer-ish run or a long enough run for WWE standards come SummerSlam, will be built into the feud with Nia Jax, so we at least have some sort of story to where it's not just like the tournament winner going in, because we know the people love the stories. And I also think a lot of the SmackDown Women's division is kind of in a build-up mode to where like Nia Jax is going to have a chance at the title. You could think you could see Tiffany Stratton eventually get back into the mix. Other than that, like everyone's kind of rebuilding. Like Naomi's going to rebuild. She had her chance against Stratton and Bayley at Backlash, so she's kind of just in a rebuild mode. Bianca Belair's in her team with Jade Cargill, so she's going to be probably staying away from the title for a little bit unless they just shoehorn her in like they tried to do with Sasha Banks back in the day. Jade Cargill is still building into the WWE ecosystem, building into that equity of WWE accolades that get you title matches, it seems. And pretty much everyone else on the SmackDown Women's roster feels very new to the show or just hasn't been seen a lot on WWE television, so they'll need to be built up before challenging and getting into that mix for this Women's Championship. So when Bayley retains, we all know all sights are on the Money in the Bank winner to see what happens there, and then on to SummerSlam, where her and Nia Jax will battle it out for that Women's Championship. So now on to the main event of the evening for the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest will be putting his title on the line against Drew McIntyre with Judgment Day banned from ringside. So if this show goes to exactly how I see it going up to this point, will Drew McIntyre finally be the one, the international guy, to pull off the W and get a win here in his homeland? And I, unfortunately for the fans, don't think he'll be winning. I believe Damian Priest will be retaining the World Heavyweight Championship here, all thanks to the man from Chicago, CM Punk. Depending on Punk's recovery trajectory, which I don't know when he would be coming back, it seems like this would be the SummerSlam match. And if McIntyre wins the World Heavyweight Championship, he'd be facing Gunther, who won the King of the Ring. And with that sitting there at the August show, I don't think it happens, and I think they have Punk get his passport, dust it off, get his ass over to Scotland, and screw McIntyre over here in the main event, set up their match at the biggest party of the summer. And I see Damian Priest being the one to clash with Gunther, which Gunther was running through some of the Judgment Day guys back in the day to where Priest was like, hey, you guys handle him. They all couldn't, and he was kind of like, how can't you beat this guy? And I think the inevitable happens where Damian Priest finds out why those guys couldn't beat Gunther, to where he'll be losing at SummerSlam to the king of the chops, Gunther. But on the bright side for Priest, at least he'll be holding on to his title here in Scotland when he defeats Drew McIntyre. So that'll do it for my predictions for the 2024 edition of Clash at the Castle. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Come back tomorrow at 8 a.m. for the short about Chad Gable and Sami Zayn's little feud. Also at 9 a.m. tomorrow will be a Superstar Spotlight on the AEW side for Timeless Tony Storm. This coming Monday will be the Seth Rollins Superstar Spotlight. Wednesday will be Hangman Adam Page. The Monday after will be Bayley, like I said earlier in the video. And then that same week on that Wednesday will be the Chris Statlander Superstar Spotlight, so come back to see those on those days. That'll also be leading into Forbidden Door weekend, and we'll have a short on whatever match I decide on that. Probably Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland, and that'll be what we have coming up for the rest of the month until we get into July with more Superstar Spotlights and hype videos. So if you like what I'm doing on this channel, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, be kept up to date. And as always, thanks for watching.